So in this lesson, we are going to be discussing about pointers in Golang. What are pointers? Pointers is a variable that holds the memory address of another variable. So pointer is also a variable, but what value is it holding? It is holding the memory address of another variable. That is, if I have a variable such as a, which holds the value 20, it means a pointer variable is only holding the address of this variable a. As we already know, in Go programming, every variable is a memory location, and every memory location has its address. That means the address of this variable where 20 is being stored on the computer's memory, it is stored into a pointer variable. That means a pointer is a variable that holds the memory address of another variable. So what do we mean by memory address? Again, I will say memory address is the address where the value of the variable is stored on the computer's memory. The value of this variable, which is 20, where is it stored on the computer memory? It is called the address of that variable. And which variable holds the address of another variable? It is a pointer. So to start with, I include my package main, then my import statement fmt, because that's likely the only package I'll be using, and I have my main function. Here I first have my println statement that says we are discussing about pointers here. This \t is just to give a tab and just to create some indentation in my code. So yeah, I have variable a of type integer holding the value 20. That is declaring a variable a that holds the value 20. And here I also have the variable b that hold the value of 3.5 of type float 64-bit. So here declares a variable b that holds the value 3.7. So now that is about the variable we are used to. And here I have my println statement that prints just the value of a and the value of b. So to do this, I would like to run my code. But how do I get it run? I move to the folder that I'm working on, which is pointer. So I use my cd command. Then I move to the folder that I'm working on, pointer. So now that I'm in the folder, I can now execute the code by using go run, then the name of the file, which is pointer.go. So I hit enter and my code gets compiled. So this should return the value stored in the memory of a, stored in the variable a, and the value stored in the variable b. And after that, I will have my pointer variable declared here. So here I have the output of my operation here, just the println. It says the value of a is, then a, I call a to return the value, which is 20. Then I call b also here to return the value, which is 3.7. So how do I declare a pointer variable? I declare a pointer variable by using the var keyword, then the variable name, and the data type, including this asterisk before the data type, which means this is a pointer variable and this is the variable name. This pointer variable will be holding the address of another variable. So to define a pointer variable, I use this asterisk before the data type, and here I will use IP as the variable name, which means integer pointer. I can use any variable name that I like, but here I use IP simply because it tells me more about what type of variable it is, which means an integer pointer. That is a pointer to an integer. And here I have a pointer to a float, which is an FP. That is float pointer of type float 64. The same asterisk at the front of the data type. So now, since I have the variable being defined here, no value assigned to it yet, how can I assign a value to the variable of a pointer? Here is it. I have the variable name, then I assign the value to it. What value am I assigning to it? I'm assigning the memory address of a variable, the a variable that I have here, which is 20. So how do I access the memory address? By using the ampersand. This ampersand before the variable name will return the memory address of such variable. So let me try to execute this block of code that is here, just to print out the memory address of the variable. This will only return the memory address of the variable. It says the value A address is this, returning it in digit form. So I have ampersand A to return the memory address of A, and here ampersand B to return the memory address of B, not the value of A or the value of B, which is 20, 33.7 respectively. So I compile my code here using go run pointer.go to compile this and return the memory address of A and B. As I have here, I have okay, I haven't saved my file here. I come back here to save, then I recompile to see the output of my code, returning the memory address of A and the memory address of B. Here I have value A address is this, while value B address is this. As I can see, they have similar numbers at the front. Then here something changed here, which means this has increased. The address, that is the location of A on my system memory, is this, while the location of B on my system memory is this. If I should try to recompile this, it might likely return different one, but similar difference between the two values. Like I have here, it says 80, yes, 11064. Then this is also the same thing. So I have my memory address. How do I prompt that? Using the ampersand and the variable name. So that memory address is what I'm storing in my pointer variable here. So I uncomment this. I store the memory address in this pointer variable. That's the use of this variable. I declared it here already to be a pointer type. Then I assign the address of a variable to it, which is ampersand A. That means the address of A is being assigned to this variable name. Then the address of B is being assigned to this variable name. So let me prompt that out so we can see the similar output. Here it says println value A in pointer variable is IP. That means it's printing the value that IP is now holding, which is the memory address of A and the memory address of B respectively. So I'm going to be prompting the output, that is the value IP is holding, which must be similar to the memory address referenced by this ampersand A. That means IP will be holding A and FP will be holding the address of B. So these two variables must return the same thing. I save my code here. Then I come down here to let me clear my screen first. Then I recompile my code using go run, then the program name, which is pointer.go. So here it returned the address of my variable. It says value A address is this and value B address is this. But here it's returned it in hexadecimal value, the hexadecimal value of IP and the hexadecimal value of FP. Here I can return it in decimal form, that is in digits, using this printf statement saying value A in pointer variable using format specifier is D, that is percentage D. Return it in digit form, that is decimal value, not the hexadecimal value. This is the hexadecimal value. So returning it in the decimal value will be the same as the decimal value that I already prompt here using this this percentage D here to reference the decimal value of the address A. Remember, without using this format specifier, I will be getting the hexadecimal value, while when I use the format specifier, I'll be getting the digit value, that is in decimal form. So here it's going to give me the value A in pointer variable using format specifier is this. We're still returning IP, which is the integer pointer referencing the memory address of A, and this returning FP referencing the memory address of B. So now let's see what that should do to our code. Let me save here and I come back here to recompile my code. So I should be getting this in decimal value. Like I have here, it says this is the address of A, which is this, then the address of B, which is this. Now using the digit format here, that is format specifier of D, I'm now getting the same values, which is which is 11032, then 11072, 11072. So this and this are similar. Remember what I did here is referencing the memory address directly using the ampersand, while what I did here is using the variable IP, because IP is a pointer variable here that I store in IP. Here I declare it as a pointer variable. Then I assign the memory address of A using the ampersand key to assign the memory address of A to IP variable. So let's see what this last two will do. Here I uncomment this and I move on. I say okay, so println value A in pointer variable is this. So now here we are going to be talking about the referencing of the values in my pointer variable. I have my pointer variable should be IP and FP respectively, which is storing the address and returning the address of the variable. Now what if I want to use this memory address, which is the pointer variable? I want to access the value that are being assigned to that address. I use the asterisk key, which means I'm dereferencing the variable, which means I'm trying to access that value that is being assigned to the memory address of IP and FP respectively. So to do that, I use this asterisk before the pointer variable name, which is asterisk IP and then asterisk FP. Here it says println value A in pointer variable is asterisk IP, and here it says value B in pointer variable is asterisk FP. What I'm doing here is dereferencing. Remember that? So let me write it here as a comment. I have so I say dereferencing the value stored in the memory address. So that is what I'm trying to do here. I save my code and I come back here to let me clear my screen first. Then I recompile my code, which will be returning the value stored in this memory address, that's in this pointer variable. Here I have remember the value of A is 20 here, the value of B is 3.7 here. So likely I'll be having value A in pointer variable is 20, which is dereferencing, which means I am dereferencing this. I'm trying to get the value that is being stored in this memory address, this pointer variable. So that is 20, and the value stored in this second pointer variable FP, which is 3.7, is 3.7. So that is how to access pointer value in Golang. Pointer, to declare a pointer, you use the asterisk key before the data type, immediately after the variable name. Then to assign a value to it, remember we only assign an address, memory address of a variable using the ampersand A, ampersand B to reference the address and store it in this pointer variable, which is IP, which is holding the memory address of type integer. A is an integer here, while B is a float here. So this is holding the value 3.5, then it's getting the memory address and storing it in this FP, that is float pointer to a float variable. So that is about pointer and memory address. Memory address are being referenced by ampersand, then the variable name. Then pointers are being defined using the asterisk before the data type. Then to dereference, I have the asterisk before the pointer variable name to dereference, that is to get the value of the pointer.